Okay, guys, we're going to get started. I'm really excited about today's topic, and I hope you are too. Whenever you hear this, I'd like for you to make certain afterwards that you get this into the hands of every person that you recruit, and as well as everyone that you can think of that's in your downline organization. So we're going to get started here in 1 second. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk to you about how David Allen Capital through Bank Breezy can really disrupt this funding industry. And to be an innovative disruptor, you got to do some things that haven't been done before. And disruptors are really companies or systems that have the potential to change or entirely displace existing companies and industries. And a great example of that is with Amazon and Netflix. They began as new entrants in industries dominated by well-known established companies, and look how they are now. I mean, it's unheard of to walk into a household that doesn't have Netflix somewhere downloaded or doesn't use Amazon on a daily basis. Disruptive innovation is the idea that when a product, system, or service is introduced into an established industry and performs better or costs less than existing offers, it can displace the market leaders and even transform the industry itself. But how does this apply to the Bank Breezy platform? You probably already heard in the past this expression, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So think for a minute about how this applies to the funding industry. Relying on strategies that have served this industry in the past is not the way to build your business in the future. To stand out from the competition, you got to shake up the way that you do things. In other words, you need to be kind of a disruptor in the industry. And the way this applies to the Breezy platform is, number one, we're continually evolving all aspects of our platform. You're going to see more and more technology attached to it as the months go, as well as more and more innovative product services in the lending industry. To truly be considered a disruptor, however, it's not just enough to adopt a new mindset. You got to also adapt your business model and your company culture. And to do this, you need to create an atmosphere where creative, outside-the-box thinkers can thrive. And that's what we're trying to do here with the people that we bring on with us at Bank Breezy. The pandemic has changed the way that lenders have chosen to underwrite industry types and the risk of those industries. Lenders have now made internal decisions on what type of businesses they're going to fund, whether they want to have this type of business or that type of business, or they're going to specialize in this particular space of the market. They look at the percentage of revenue that they're going to use to determine what their funding amount. And I mean, they may only want to do 50%, they may want to do 200%. And how important the credit really is to the business owner. With all these credit repair companies and with the one particular bureau not updating like the other ones, the FICO scores, in my opinion, are becoming less and less a factor. But they still are in the industry. But I think more and more of the updated lender partners that we have are going to be looking at their own inside algorithms. But there's a host of factors when it comes to your client receiving funding that we got to look at. Now, if you're an ISO, a broker, you're not part of David Allen Capital, you're not part of the Bank Breezy platform, what do you got to do to be successful? Well, number one, you don't have 15 to 25 lender contracts, and that includes A, B, C, D lenders, you're not going to be successful because everybody has their own little box that they work in. You can't get, using On Deck as an example, good luck getting a contract with them. I actually had a lender partner call me and said, I've got a pretty good size ISO. They're not able to get a contract with with On Deck, and I was wondering if we could possibly tag team and let them come through your platform. So I'm getting more information about who that ISO is and that sort of information. But the A lenders are looking for incredible amounts of experience before they want to give you contracts, even the B lenders. And anybody can go to the C and D lenders and get contracts, but you're going to find out in a few minutes what good are they? What are you're going to go out there and you're going to do that? But if you don't know this industry and understand who's going to make the offer for what type of business, you're pretty much playing behind an 8 ball. You have to have a multi-million-dollar insurance policy to protect yourself from cyber attacks, from lawsuits, from other brokers inside your organization. That's just to name a few things, and we already have that. We got that. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be contracted with OnDeck and their group of companies. You got to have a marketing and a submission platform. Well, we got all of that. And you got to know you got to have knowledge of the legal landscape that's updated every single week. I mean, we just had some new information come in about California in the last month. Guys, if you don't have that kind of information and you're out there working it blind, you're gonna get yourself in a bind, and it'll probably wind up being a big financial bind for you. Lender requirements of a broker or a small ISO group are as follows. The A and B lenders require product knowledge. You got to show them that you've been experienced at this. You got to have monthly minimum just to keep a contract with them. A history of success in the industry, your own submission and marketing platform, and of course, insurance coverage. We have all that. You may be able to go out yourself and get 3 to 5 lender contracts from various C and D lenders. However, you don't have their loyalty. You're going to run into many cases where they move your file from their particular funding platform to their boiler rooms in their back, their call centers. This happens all the time. It doesn't happen to us because we know the lenders that we got 17 preferred ones, and those are the ones that we try to submit most of them to, but we got over 50 lender contracts out there. And a lot of them will put your file on a platform for syndication. That means that they're probably a larger ISO group than they are a lender, or they're such a small lender that they just don't want to put much money into each one of the deals, and they want to syndicate it, which, hey, you can go look at that syndication platform if you know how, and you can get most of the information that you need, the same kind of information you get from trigger leads. Well, the Bank Breezy funding platform is where we do all the work and you get paid most of the money. And as you know, it's taken about 7 years to put this together. It's some big brokers. We got over 50 lenders on the thing. And there's been well over 500,000 applications that have flown through our system. The benefit that you have there at David Allen Capital is pretty simple. Number one, it's a 100% online application process. There's no hassles. We help them make their own decisions. We're offering you the number one success tool that small business people need in today's economy, and that's working capital. And you get paid on every deal. If it was funded today, the next day we pay, and a daily pay is going to keep you flourishing within this industry. You just got to get the word out, guys. And I want to tell you, and I'm going to give you some examples today. People are coming back 4 to 6 times to get more funding through us because we treat them the right way. We want you guys on our platform through David Allen Capital to earn full-time pay on a very part-time basis until you build up enough clientele where we're getting referrals and renewals, that kind of thing. And the great thing that you need to know is not only does Bank Breezy have a renewal team, but so does several of our lender partners, and they work right beside us, hand in hand, calling and giving you guys a lot of different renewals. We try to keep all these other lenders out there from coming in and swooping up the client by stacking our deals. And we're even incentivizing, as you already know, through our Connect Cash, your clients to give us referrals, and they get paid to do so. We're on a mission to combat trigger leads and expose the brokers. And Bank Breezy is actually teaming up with other lender partners to expose these that are buying these leads and being untruthful to the clients. These trigger leads are either sold by one of the 3 top credit bureaus, well, the 3 credit bureaus that are out there, or they may come from a supposed lender In other words, you may be dealing with a company that's not really the main lender, and they take that and they may not want to work that file, or they work it and they can't do anything with it. They sell it to other people. So that's the unscrupulous things that are happening in this. Here's one of the things that happened with a bad actor just this week. I got an email from the client that said, hey, Wade, this is, and I'm not going to use their name, I just got another offer from your underwriter at the place that we did it with the following term. Is it possible that that this company will provide you the same offer that the underwriter Matthew offered me? I attached the numbers he sent me that your same lender offered directly from him. Also, the lender let you know. Also, does the lender let you know other representatives within their own company have provided it? It shocked me that they knew my offer amount. I had already received from you guys without telling him that information. Well, I got the guy's picture there, but I marked out the name of the client, and you see there, he says he's from the underwriting department, and they can offer all these things. Well, they can't. Wherever this lead came from, and I suspect it came because this client had submitted to multiple places, and he got the same offer. The offer that we had did not even have these prepayment discounts. It was all fabricated so they could get them to make them think that they had the file in their hands, and then they will send them a link to do a bank verification. That way they can look at all their bank statements, and they can decide what to do. These are the kind of things that is happening in the industry, and we're going to work very hard within this industry and work with our lenders to make sure that we can just kind of stamp this stuff out, get rid of these bad actors. I spoke with the third in line of one of the largest lenders in America that are in the C&B space this week, and she told me that she gave me her personal phone number, said, I want you to talk to me anytime. That's why I'm not going to bother you with. She says, I want you to, because you guys have integrity, and we're trying to really clean up this industry. There's probably 1,000 bad actors out there, and we want to get rid of them. There's something else that makes this platform so special. Things are changing every day. Just recently, this past week, things change in California. They're on the verge of passing another commercial financing bill. They already passed one. They're going to tack on some more stuff to it. And if you don't know all this stuff, and you're out there and you're talking to your clients about offers when you shouldn't be, that can be a problem for you. So that's why we want you to let us handle everything, and then you don't have to worry about what states you're marketing in and what the regulations are, because we're going to take care of them ahead of time. Now, let's talk about the 5 weekly funded deals. These are not, that doesn't mean that they're the top deals in because of the amount. It's just that this uniqueness of them. We got a nail salon in Alabama that got another $45,000. This is the second renewal in 6 months with them. In other words, they got funded, then they got renewed, and now they got renewed again. And each time they've got another $10,000 or $12,000 more with better terms. The client wanted to expand their current space to include room for more employees. Then we had a medical allergy clinic in Washington, the state. They set up one of our new lines of credit programs for $100,000. They have it on a 2-year term, monthly payments. What that means is you take a draw on that line of credit, and then what they do is they amortize it over a 2-year period to come up with what that monthly payment would be on that amount of money. And of course, there are no monthly payments if you pay it off any particular month. So this is one of the new, that brand new program we talked about. This is one of the first ones on it. But we're starting to really mount up those that are applying and getting them. We have an ice cream parlor in Arizona, got 13,000. What's unique about this is their 6th renewal for additional supplies. That's what they're using it for, but it's their 6th renewal. Their business is flourishing. Well, if it's flourishing, why do they need funding? Well, because they need more and more and more inventory for that. We had an IT company in Georgia that got 43,000. We set that up on an 18-month term with weekly payments on them. No one else in the industry gave them over a 10-month deal, and many of them were daily payments instead of weekly. And then we had a food truck in Florida that got $28,000 to help them expand their business and put a second truck on. This is what the industry is all about, doing the right thing for each and every one of your clients and doing that right thing every time. So if we have any questions here, we can, I'll stop sharing. We can answer them now. Anything you want to ask me about funding or about what we just talked about? Okay, all right.
Oh, looks like just a few hands up. Jose, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, I had a client yesterday from Canada apply, and I was back and forth with them and all. And I set their expectations. I told them about the Connect Cash. I think I did everything I was supposed to do. And somewhere there was some confusion. They let me to believe that they were doing a minimum of 700,000 a month, and then they did get an offer, and everything was great. I think at the time was like within 6 hours from the time they started their application to the time they got their documents in, underwriting, and the whole 9 yards. They got an offer, but it was for $96,000, and they said that wasn't going to help them. And and the only thing I can think of is if everything was true to what they told me, was perhaps they were stacking and trying to get money from everywhere. Do you know?
Jose, I am incredibly familiar with that because I spoke to the guy yesterday afternoon, sent him his final offer today. He took 167,000 about 28 days ago from a competitor and stacked another group that had already given him funding. And so this is the third position funding. And then this particular client was telling me that, yeah, but I've got a contract with the people that are buying our company, that all this debt's there. Well, that doesn't invalidate UCC filings, nor does it invalidate the contract they already signed with the lender. So what we got him was outstanding. If you'd have come to us before he took that 167,000, you'd have probably gotten $300,000 or $400,000. But nobody wants to triple stack somebody. Nobody wants to come in right behind someone in 30 days and they're not going to give them anywhere near what they got on the other one. But that's what happened on that file. Jose's not here. Okay. Well, I just want to let you know that's what happened on the file. I was very excited to even get this guy $95,000 offer, but that's what happened on that file. Okay, go to the next one.
Yeah, next up we've got Christopher Sanchez. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
And by the way, Jose, you did everything you were supposed to do. You gave him the right expectations, except that he didn't give you all the proper information.
Wade, wow, information overload here. My brain is just running wild with what you shared. Is it possible to have, and I know you already have it out here, I know that, and maybe this question is more with Tyler, to actually categorize the high requirements for A lenders. And the reason I say this is because I'm talking to businesses now where their monthly income is anywhere from 200,000 up to 1.2 million. But just speaking with them, red flags are already coming up. And so I'm trying to shorten my conversations and actually put a list together specifically for a lender criteria, so that companies I speak to, I'm kind of weeding through the ones who just aren't going to qualify. And I apologize if this is vague and not specific enough.
Well, it's specific enough. I mean, all I can tell you is that if they're not in one of the high risk industries like transportation, and if they are doing north of 50,000, they've got a credit score north of 660, closer to 675, then they're going to get anywhere from 100 to 200% of what they're doing on a monthly basis. I can tell you in our industry, you're not going to get hardly anyone to fund. I mean, I know they're saying we'll do 5 and 10 million. No, they won't. what they do is they tranche fund, and that's what we do. So if I went to someone that, let's say they're doing $1 million a month and they wanted $2 million, we're not going to give them $2 million necessarily. Maybe we will, but we would more like to say, hey, listen, why do you want, if you're not going to use all the money right now, why take it now? So what we do is tranche funding. We give them 750,000 now, and then in 6 months this, or every 90 days that, and then they got a payment history as it's going, and then they can see if they need the money. Something might happen where they don't really need that much money. So why pay for it now if you don't need it? And that's kind of how this industry works with our lenders.
Would the electric auto industry that's emerging big here in southeastern Michigan, I'm speaking with a couple of companies.
Yeah, we're not going to do the automotive industry.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to get an A lender to even look at it. You got, if they're doing $500,000 a month in revenue, plus, then you can get some of the lower level lenders but they're not going to fund that kind of money to them. They're going to fund by 50% of what they're doing at the max.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Wade.
You're welcome.
All right, and last but not least, we have Orlando. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, good morning, Wade. Can you hear me?
I can.
Great. Quick question on that file that you're working on for me now. Should I call you on your landline or your mobile number?
Well, actually, I can probably just, since we're not given the name, the thing is, there's no way that start date's right. And by submitting that start date to May of this year, it's going to limit me to a very small, minute number of lenders that even want to look at it. And nobody in the right mind in an A and B category would even consider something that says it's 4 months old, 3 months old. And I know that's not true because I looked them up on the Secretary of State, and there's some Secretary of State issues as well. And I'm trying to head this off ahead of time. So you need to ask him, why does he have on his Secretary of State, why is it that it's been in bad standing for so long? It's still in bad standing. It's active, but it's in bad standing. Ask him all that information. If I get that, and I know what's really going on the file, because he won't return my call, and we send him emails as well. We just need to know what's going on, man. Why is all this happening? Let's talk through it, and then let him talk through it to you, and then you tell me why is he in bad standing? Why is it? And I looked it up because I know that's what they're going to do, especially something that I know for a fact he is not 4 months old. He's been around since 2019, and he could have just made a mistake there. But then he's
been around for 10 years at least. From what I know.
Yeah, but he's closed a couple companies too. Go Google the Secretary of State for that state and put him in and see what you come up with.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, buddy.
I'll do that, Wade. Thanks a lot. I'll definitely follow up with him. I'll get back to you.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Wade. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, it looks like we had one more hand come up. Jesse, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Wade, thanks for the training. I just had a quick question in regards to potential clients that already have funding or existing line. Is there like a threshold or a ratio that's like the max that we would be able to offer them if they already have an existing funding?
Well, if they are, yeah, they're not going to ever get over 200% of what they're doing monthly. That's just not going to happen. But see, the way you keep getting renewals is they get 50% of it paid down, or now, if they're a really good client, it can only be 35%, and then they'll just keep. I mean, I got one client that's got 5 fundings in 3 different locations that is way more than 200% of what they're doing monthly. But they've been with us, and they continue to need renewal money for expansion, and it's every client, honestly, is a unique situation. It's not a cookie cutter, and so we can probably get them more as it goes. We can get them more than we got them the time before. Almost every time it's going to be a better term, and in some cases it can be more than we would normally have given them because they come back so many times and got funding with us. They've been a good client.
Okay, yeah, no, I was thinking more so in line with like the example you gave earlier, when where the guy had like 128 or something, and you guys offered 98, or something.
No, he took, the guy's doing, that other example, the guy's doing 700,000 a month, but he's already gotten 2 deals and equal to at least 60-70% of that. And he just took 167,000. If you just take, if you get funded in less than 45 days ago, you got funded. We don't come in and stack people. These lenders don't want to be stacked, because if you are a client and you stack them once or twice, they're not going to trust you anymore to give you renewal funding. And if they do give you renewal funding, you're not going to like the rates that they give you, because they don't want, if they stack these other people, they'll stack us. And stacking is a big no-no. By the way, the contract, just so everybody knows, in stacking, if any lender could go after them and ask for all the money because they were stacked. Nobody does it. But they can do it, and clients just need to be aware of that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I guess that's everybody, right?
Christopher Sanchez does have his hand up one more time, so let's see. Go ahead, Christopher.
Oh, Wade, thank you for the clarification within the auto industry lending. Is there a resource that you could suggest that I could recommend to these manufacturers? Right now, they're explaining to me that it's really getting close to the red line, and if they can't get some funding, it's going to obviously impact their business.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only way they're gonna get it is through equity-based funding, which they're gonna have to go out and get partners. And I don't know anybody in the lending space personally that would do that, but I don't know everybody in the lending space either. I try to be an expert in what we do as much as I can, but I would think they're gonna probably have to get some equity partners in that are gonna buy in. I mean, otherwise it's not gonna work. If you don't, I mean, if they're close to the red line, nobody's gonna fund them anyway. So you almost got to get an equity partner in there that sees your vision and takes part of your company. All right, guys, I really appreciate you giving me this time today, and we'll be back next week for 15 minutes. Thank you, guys.